What's going on YouTube? Kimoto here. So, a few million posts ago, I stated that if this video hits 20 million, I'll make a video explaining why I'm not afraid of the cops coming after me. So, let's get into it. Before I get started, let's get this out the way. I do not hate the cops. I do not have anything against the cops. I mean, I respect them. They do a job that I definitely could not and would not do. So I do respect the cops. Do I speed a lot? Yes, I speed quite a bit. I mean, it's a known fact. I speed a bit. I have multiple videos where I have interactions with the cops where I've been pulled over multiple times. So yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with the cops, but I definitely respect what they do. I don't, I don't hate them. I'm not like, oh, screw the cops. I'm not that person. So I do have a respect for what they do, but they're gonna work for it. All right, Lego. So let me erase a few myths right away. Yes, it was a real cop. It was not a friend. It was not a security car. It was an actual cop. 2, yes, it was the actual acceleration of the bike. It wasn't sped up. It wasn't slowed down. It was the actual acceleration of the bike. Now, the reason this bike accelerates so hard is it is geared for a quarter-mile race, drag race. It's geared exactly for a quarter-mile race. So it's up 2 in the rear, down 1 in the front. So it's geared to get maximum acceleration in a quarter mile. So it's gonna accelerate extremely hard. 3, what type of bike is it? It's this bike right here. This is number 4. Was it me on the bike? No, wasn't me. If you look at that rider and look at me, it's a total different weight class. I'm a heavyweight with gear on. I'm typically around 260 range, so I'm not the typical jockey. So what we had a jockey that was riding the bike doing the racing down in Mexico. So had been out a couple times, racing, testing, seeing how the bike performs. It was telling me, hey, we possibly need to change the gearing because we don't have a lot of top end. That's why, you'll see the bike, it kind of tops out around the 170-ish range, 180-ish range, because it has no top end because it's geared so aggressively, and it comes out of the hole super hard. So they was telling me all this stuff, but still racing, having fun, just seeing how it performs up against some of the other bikes down in Mexico. On the last real race that we did out the spot, he comes back, all hyped up and breathing all hard and like telling me like, hey man, man, I had to run from the cops. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. I'm thinking that maybe he rode past the cops, maybe a cop was turning around and he sped up and just rode off, or maybe it was a group of guys and, he rolled away from them and got in front of the other guys and rode off. I had no idea of the level of running from the cops that he had done. I didn't know until I actually looked back at the camera. And it was my camera on the bike, so that's why I had the footage. So I'm looking at the footage, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy crap, this guy actually ran from the cops. It wasn't like, it was nothing like I thought. It was totally different. And I'm sure it was the same feeling you guys got when you saw it. It was like, holy crap. And I know we got polarizing views of what happened. Some people like, oh wow, that's awesome. Some people like, oh, super upset. But that's what happened. It is what it is. This is what happened. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, holy crap. He basically just did what he did, looked around at the cops, let his daggone visor back down, and peeled out super hard. And I was like, oh boy. Me personally, I had one that was already going semi-viral based on a similar incident, but this one here was a little different, being that the part of Mexico that we were in and the fact that he basically looked the guy dead in his eyes and left off. So what I did on this video, which is a question that I get asked in the comments also, why you blurred it out? Because this part of Mexico, they do not play. They will hunt you down. So I blurred it out, and I didn't want any blowback from the video. So I blurred it out because I'm like, you know what? Blur it out. That should eliminate most blowback. Did that help? Of course not. So a few weeks after the video starts getting viral, I get a message from a friend of mine saying, hey man, what you got going on? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. The Mexico cops were looking for me because of the video. And, I was super calm about it because I knew it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I felt that there was nothing that they could do to me anyway. So wasn't really pressed. But I did reach out to the people that were trying to get in touch with me. Basically, one of the cops knew some of the people that I knew. So they reached out on a forum that, a lot of my friends are on, and some of my friends reached out to me. So got in contact with the middleman basically. And then I got in contact with the actual cop. So I've actually spoken to this cop about this video. Now I don't want to give the details about what he was saying because I don't know if he really wants that out there. But I spoke to the cop and I was explaining to him that, hey man, yeah, we were out there racing, but it wasn't me on the bike. It was a jockey on the bike. He did tell me that he had ran from the cops, but at the end of the day, it wasn't me. Nothing much I can really do about the scenario. I apologize for the situation, but there's really not much I could do being that it wasn't me. I was out there illegally racing in Mexico, but at the end of the day, it wasn't me. So when people ask, am I, afraid that the cops come after me and all that stuff, I really wasn't afraid because I know it wasn't me. I can prove by the video that it wasn't me. We got on the phone. I guess it was cordial. Nothing, he didn't have any hard feelings against me. I didn't have any hard feelings against him. So, it was a decent conversation. He was a little, he was still a little pissed, and he would probably still, if he found the guy, he would probably still have a few words for him. That's for sure. So, do the cops look at videos and try to find you? Most definitely. They definitely do. He basically went through a lot of my old videos. And, I got videos on my truck and, on my bikes. And so I got my tag on some videos and stuff like that. He had went through a lot of my old videos, looking at them, finding the tags and stuff, and was trying to find me. It was, the thing is, I don't live in that part of Mexico also, so I wasn't really pressed. So, he had found my tag and was saying that he had been by my house, and I was like, I ain't been by my house. I don't really live in that area, so no big deal. But yeah, they do track you down, and they do, if they could possibly can, they will find you and do whatever, take you, I guess, prosecute you to whatever extent of the law that they can, but being that it wasn't me, it came out a little easier. Now, it was another guy in that part of Mexico that got hemmed up for basically running from the cops on camera and posting it. So, it does happen. But in my scenario, I wasn't, crazy enough to post a video like that of myself running from the cops, because I knew that video was going to go super viral, and I also knew that it would cause, it would cause a little uproar in that community. So there you have it. Thanks for watching the videos. Continue to like, subscribe, check me out on Instagram, @QMO_, and I'll catch you guys later.